Yeah, Jason on the mic. Welcome to the spot. Breeding those reptiles, straight fire, straight hot. Geckos in the house, snakes twist and turn. Lizards on the prowl, see the passion burn. Breeders in the game, they putting in work. Red tail bows, see them go berserk. Leopard geckos shine like scales of gold. Hobbyists unite, let them stories be told. Putting in that work every day and night. Jason got the spotlight, keeping it tight. Reptile keepers rise, making impact. Breeding them beauties, never looking back. Cages all set, heat lamps in place. Monitor lizards, putting on a chase. From the boa constrictors to the chameleons green.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Putting in Work podcast, where we try to find the folks that's been putting in work with, the uncommon stuff, right? So today we got Mr. Aaron on of Aaron's Reptile Corner.
Yep. Aaron's Reptile
All
Corner.
right,
Aaron's Reptile Corner.
that's what's up. All right, bet. So Aaron, why don't you go ahead and tell us how you got into this reptile game?
For sure. So I've always kept animals since I was younger. Like since I can remember, we always kept fish in the house. We've had turtles forever. And then in middle school, me and my friends, we decided to just do a YouTube video. So we ended up doing YouTube for a little bit. And we just did turtles and stuff like that. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. So we just kept turtles. In the spring and summertime, we kept turtles outside, which was pretty cool. And then after that, slowly I got into some leopard geckos. I bred leopard geckos, kept crested geckos, and a couple other things like long-tailed lizards. Uh, then I just got like a couple of miscellaneous things. But yeah, I started since I was like 12, 13, stopped keeping for a little bit, and then got back into it uh, a little bit before COVID or like early COVID, I think.
Oh, that's what's up. When you moved down to North Carolina?
I moved down like I think
Because that, that
February.
that that Bronx accent is hard.
I moved down, I think in 2021. I think it was February
Okay.
2021 because it was the Super Bowl. Yeah.
All right, bet,
So
bet.
I've been down
Okay.
here
Because I was like,
since then.
man, you
It's pretty
North
cool.
Carolina. I was like, I don't hear no North Carolina in that
Nah,
voice, man.
nah, I'm still new out here. I do like it though. The weather's freaking beautiful
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been trying to move to North Carolina for who knows how long, bro. Like, I keep looking at houses out there, man. I'm like, man, I need to do it, but no, my girl's like, nah, we ain't moving down there unless my
Bro,
mama
it's
moving.
dope.
So I was like, man, well, let's move your mama too, because like, yeah, I mean, for the more bang for your buck out there compared to where I
Yeah,
live right now, like for like 200,000 out there, I get like a 4-bedroom out there. 200,000 out here is like that's a condo. So
yeah,
it's like I was like we need more space. Right
for
now I
sure.
got like a partial kitchen with all my stuff in it. Because right now like we're in a 3-bedroom house,
Hmm.
but I'm trying to expand my stuff, and it's hard to expand when you got limited space.
Yeah, I feel that. I
Yeah,
just we just expanded to the other room and
yeah,
I've been just moving some stuff around and I got some more stuff actually I'm picking up today. So that's
that's what's up. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, talking about space and like, so we're gonna be talking about these Calotes Calotes. And that's the whole reason why I need some space, because these lizards get pretty deep, not crazy big size, but enough where I need more
Yeah.
space. So where do these lizards come from, man?
When I go through and I look through, like, I go on like Google or I think there's a care guide out now as well, but they're from like Sri Lanka. I've also seen it was like southwestern India as well.
Okay.
So that's where these guys are from, which is pretty cool. Did you ask another question? I'm sorry, it lagged out at first.
No, no, no. So where? So they come from like parts of India and Sri
Yeah,
Lanka.
Sri
So what does
Lanka.
that habitat look like?
So they definitely, I can't remember exactly what it was, but where they are, they're like they are the largest species of Calotes, so they have high
Okay.
elevation. I'm pretty sure the elevation is around like 1,500 feet, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So they are pretty high up, but they also get pretty hot as well, which is a little bit more weirder for the other Calotes because most of them like it pretty cooler.
Yeah. Because I think I was talking to Justin about it, about the not even the Calotes, the Calotes Dumbara, because
Yeah.
it come from that same region, right?
Hmm.
And they're like, yeah, no heat, just throw some UV or some LEDs and you're good to go. So yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
bit. I always find it because like even like you go like to you talk about like Madagascar, right? With
Hmm.
like Ebonawis. You got certain Ebonawis, they're kind of all in that same geographical location, but some take it a little bit warmer, like my Ebonawis. That's the only reason I got Ebonawis and I got rid of the Sycamore because the Ebonawis
Hmm.
can take it a little bit more warmer because I live in Arizona. So
Yeah.
but if I they can get into the 80s and still be okay. Whereas some of your other Europlatists, starts getting into the 80s, you're gonna have some issues. Right?
For
That's
sure.
why I've never touched Fantasticus. Like, nah, man, like you sneeze and that thing fucking dies or some shit like that. I'm good
Yeah,
on that.
we keep Ebanawi now too, but for that same exact reason.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Ebonawis.
Yeah.
They're people I underestimated how fast they are when they jump. Like I had
Yeah.
one out of my hand, and that thing felt like it just like disappeared from my hand to the other hand real fucking quick. I was like, "What the hell
Yeah.
just happened?" So
Those things can move.
so I don't even take it out no more. I took it out one time to show my girl, and she's like, don't bring it out again," because that thing is she's like, "I don't want you to lose it." I was like, "Yeah, for real." So yeah, but
That's what I,
that's gonna be another project for probably next year. No, I just gotta find me a few females. I got a male. I just gotta get me a few females now for that
yeah.
project. Oh man. So so let's kind of do just can you describe the Calotes Calotes? Because I mean, people are like, "What the hell's a Calotes Calotes?" Like I know what it is, and
Yeah.
maybe some other folks, but when you describe this lizard, it's a beautiful lizard, like
So
gorgeous.
yeah, they're one of my favorites, honestly. So the males can get up to around 18 inches, which is just way more tail than body, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. They're bright green. And then during breeding season, when they're mating, or even when they're frying up, usually like when I'm spraying during the morning, the males they'll have a beautiful red crimson face, which is super nice. I think I have a video I could try to send you later today.
Okay. Yeah.
And the females they also get a red face, not as like bright red, but they do get red. The males have larger spikes on their back and dorsal than
Okay.
females have a little spikes. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Um, and females are just a little bit smaller, just less tail, but they are about like 16 inches. It's just way more tail than body, which is pretty
Okay.
cool for them.
Yeah. So they a little bit that sexual dimorphism where like
Yeah, it's more the dorsal, and the males they also have a dewlap. Females have a smaller dewlap as well, but males
okay.
have a nice, beautiful dewlap when they fire up.
Okay, bet. Yeah. So what kind of diet are you looking at with these things?
So I feed mine, and they're strictly insectivorous, but they are found to eat lizards as well.
Okay.
So I have fed them like stillborn lizards or lizards that like fail to thrive. I fed those off to like my females after they lay eggs and they bounce back quicker.
Okay. That's what's up. Do you ever think about like doing like a colony of morning geckos for them?
I thought about it. I mean, I have morning geckos, but they just sell good, so I
Uh,
probably can do that.
yeah.
They do great at shows.
Oh yeah, bet. Yeah. No doubt. Oh man. So with the let's see, how do they behave in captivity, and what should owners kind of expect in terms of activity level?
So they're always zipping around. So my original pair is an F1. Excuse me. So they are a little bit more like spastic. They're kind of crazy, but but they love food, so they'll tame down a little bit for food.
Yeah.
Um, After the babies that I have stuff, they're all hand tamed, which is great. You could tongue feed them pretty easily because they always want to eat, which is always cool. You can have a nice terrarium just to look around, and they're always out, which is always I think that's better than having like nocturnal lizards sometimes.
Okay. So So for your like a pair of adults, right? What kind of enclosure type are you looking to try to make?
So far I've been trying out now have them in a 36 1836,
Okay.
and I keep the
Exo?
pair together. I'm sorry.
Exo?
No, it's a Zoom Ed, but
Okay.
it's one of those Repti breezes, and then I
Okay.
use corrugated plastic,
Okay.
um,
Okay. You're doing the whole the jack
from
joint.
Jack. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I texted him a few times. I was like, I just don't get it, and he explained it.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I've been trying that.
yeah, like anytime, like when folks like, yeah, I use Repti breezes, that scares the shit out of me because, like, if it's something that needs high humidity and I got to spray that thing, I was like, how do y'all get this water not everywhere? It's like, oh yeah, so now Jack's like, yeah, you just put the plastic on each side, and I'm like, it still makes me iffy with all those wires and everything, man. I like, like,
I feel like also just like if you have an automatic misting system, it just depends where you like have it located.
yeah. So, do you put like a substrate tray in there too?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
have sphagnum moss all in the corners as well.
How deep is that substrate tray? Because I've only had one Repti Breeze, but it was for I was using it for intermediates
Yeah.
because it was like perfect size for like one of my intermediate babies. So I was like, oh yeah, I could use this, but no, I mean, it's just throw a little bit of sand on that thing. I'm good, whatever. But like
Yeah.
something that needs high humidity and deep substrate, like what size are those trays?
Honestly, it's not that deep. It's about like maybe an inch and a half. But I have sphagnum moss, and I also just have plants in pots as well.
Okay, gotcha. So they okay, because I was gonna say, do you like have to like glue like the insides to make sure water doesn't leak out or anything?
No, honestly,
No.
I don't have that much problem. But also, I do just in case I keep lids on the bottom of my racks because I have carpet. So
Yeah, yeah.
just in case if water falls down, they just get caught in the lids.
Okay, bet. Yeah. All right. So, uh, like I said, walk us through like so. What are you putting all in that enclosure, and then like what kind of lighting and
Yeah,
uh sort are you using too?
so for sure. I just get branches from usually outside. I just
Yeah.
make sure it's not treated and stuff. So I go like my parents' backyard. I get some thick branches. I also use tons of thin branches as well.
Hmm.
I feel like they use all of it. They'll use the thin ones and the thicker ones. I feel like it makes them think just a little bit more,
Yeah.
especially with hunting. For lighting, I use the 6% T5 UVB
Okay.
Arcadia. I have a 24-inch bar, so I just have that. The hot spot is around like 95 to like 100. I usually keep it at.
Okay.
Um, just and I use thick cork bark pieces as well. So I also have that, so they could get super high up, and then it's up in the hundreds if they want to move down a little bit. It's like around 90, 92.
Okay. So when the like the female lays, is just laying in those potted plants?
So usually I try to move those ones out, or I pack it super tight.
Yeah.
What I do is I also just bring another flower pot. I've also used smaller boxes, but I move the female out of the bigger enclosure and I move her into a small enclosure just because females they get a little bit more aggressive when they're about to lay.
Oh, with the male?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I so I move her out into a leak cage. I have it, it's a 22, it's a 22, 17, 24, I think it is.
Okay.
And I use either flower pots or I've used like those sunglass boxes that you get from like Dollar Tree, and I just
Okay. Yeah.
pack it with sand and dirt.
Yeah. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
just get it wet enough where it doesn't squeeze any water, and I try to keep it, and I get the nest box around like 90 degrees. So I
Okay.
just
So you
add the
warm up
heat
the
light
nest
over.
box too. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. Yeah, I see people do that with like with monitors, like put like a heat pad right under that nest box or something to
Yeah,
keep it nice and warm, keep it like at a certain temp to make them want to lay in there. So, so is that like just a general lizard thing, or because I mean people don't do that with geckos and stuff. They just kind of have a lay box and go ahead and go in there. Like my chihuahuas, they don't even use a lay box. They just use
yeah,
whatever. Like I've only people that get a lay box from me, or only geckos that get a lay box, is my stropharis. They're the only ones that use it. My ciliaris. Only
Yeah,
ones that use it, and everything else just lays in the substrate. Like I said, I had to go egg hunting the other day for my Blazodactylus saclavas.
yeah.
Yeah, I found like fucking like 6 eggs. I was like, God.
Nah, I mean, not all lizards, but a good amount. Like I keep tachydermis as well, and they just lay in the soil, but they lay usually like in the roots. And all my geckos they just lay. The only ones that have lay boxes are crested geckos, and then everything else just lays in the dirt. But the Calotes, and a few other I've seen other larger agamids, they also rather have a temperatured egg box, which is pretty cool.
Oh, gotcha. Man, I just drank
It's all
some.
right.
Yeah, no, what's called? I was drinking Monster, and that went down the wrong way.
I feel that.
So what do you consider? Do you consider yourself a gecko breeder or a reptile breeder?
I feel like a reptile breeder because I try to keep everything. Like I have a couple of Lacerdas. I have geckos. I definitely have more geckos than Lacerdas right now, but
Okay.
hopefully I'll change that soon.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, right now I'm just a gecko breeder, right?
Yeah.
Like someone told me, "Oh, you're a Chihuahua breeder." I was like, no, we're gonna cut that shit out right now." I was like, "No, I am a gecko breeder." Soon, I want to be considered a reptile breeder because I said I want to dabble in some other stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at getting some kind of a boa soon, or not soon, but in the future. Like
Yeah.
I'm slowly convincing my other one to be like, yeah, go ahead and get that bow because I was looking at like the Dominican Red Mountains, but
Hmm.
no, they get like 6 foot. I was like, I'm 5'6". Sorry, I got issues. I can't have anything that's taller than me. Sorry, that shit ain't happening. So I was like, okay, well, I like sand boas because they remind me of the Beetlejuice from those sandworms from Beetlejuice. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at them, and then but I first then I showed her first is like the hog nose, right?
Hmm.
Something cute, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, those are nice. Boom, that's one step closer. So I'm probably gonna start off with some hogs, but I want to get something that's live birthing. So Sambo's gonna be like my next thing
Yeah.
from
I
like a
kept
snake.
garters.
Yeah, see, and I like garters too, but man, they eat fish and stuff, right?
Yeah. I give them like I give mine like chopped up tilapia and stuff like that,
Mhm.
which is that thing was cool. When you walk in the room, you just see a whole bunch of little baby worms crawling around and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a couple get out, which sucked, but yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's the part right there where she like, yeah, them motherfuckers better not get out. We got some issues. Oh man, so um, can you kind of walk us through um prior to breeding? So do you have to cool them down or anything?
I don't
Um,
necessarily cool them down, but my room definitely gets a little bit cooler during the winter time.
yeah,
And then I just take one feeding off the week. So if I feed you
okay,
3 to 4 times a week, now you're just getting 2 to 3 times a week.
yeah. Now,
Fastest food cycle.
when that happens, so is your like the parameters are they kind of changing where it's a little bit colder and drier in there
Yes,
because
so I'm
the
spraying a
humidity is.
little bit less too.
Yeah. Okay. And then so when springtime comes around, it's you're hitting them hard with like more misting and a little bit more feedings
Yeah.
to get them back up. So for like you said, like everything is kind of changing naturally. So do you change your light cycles?
So I do actually. So I have everything on timers. So it's
Hmm.
just I just match it with daylight saving time. So
Okay.
usually it get dark around like what, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So
Yeah.
I'll just usually just do that. 6 o'clock lights come off. Um, and then usually I have other animals that get cooled off, like the Lacerdas. All their lights will get turned off, so then the room naturally the ambient gets a little bit lower and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely I do the kind of that same stuff. I pay attention sunrise, sun up. Like I don't
Yep.
have those Arcadia joints that kind of slowly power up. Those things are too expensive for me, man. I can't.
Yeah, those new ones.
Yeah, they're fire, but I just can't do it right now. Sorry.
I feel that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I want to
So
say I
what you?
still have like the older timers. I don't even have a smart timer or anything.
Oh yeah,
I get
yeah.
yeah, I
I
got the
try
little
messing with
dial
them
ones.
older ones, like the little dial joints.
Yeah,
And
those are the
yeah, I
ones I
try
use.
messing with them. I always mess them up, so I end up just going with those Govies. I mean, they're cheap. They're like $20. So I get like get like a 4 or 5 pack for like 20 some dollars. Boom,
Yeah.
connect them all up, and I had the app on my phone. Boom, and I start playing with times and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what's the gestation period after you catch them? Have you
Like
ever
a
seen them copulate?
Yeah, I've got a visual. I've seen visual locks. Usually after once the female lays, I usually keep her in that individual cage for like about a week or two, just so she can bounce back. And as soon as you throw her back in with the male's already bobbing his head and stuff. So
Yeah,
usually after a lock, she's ready to lay in like 30 to 30, like 7 days. I've seen it after.
damn,
Yeah.
that's fast. For how
Oh
many
yeah.
eggs are you getting?
So my first three clutches, I got nine. And then the
Shit,
largest I got was 13.
damn,
Yeah.
damn, that's quick for that many eggs. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I got
expect.
I got 40 eggs my first year breeding them. Yeah.
That's wild because I'm so used to the 2 egg drops. Like all my gecko, like I mean, and you work with a bunch of geckos. Like I have so many
Yeah.
different gestation periods over here. Like my Stropharis, they're like every 3 weeks she
Hmm.
drops eggs. She literally just laid a clutch last night. I had to go dig them out,
Yeah.
but that's like clutch number 10 for her.
Jeez. What, silly
Yeah,
hours?
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
just thinking it's her first year breeding, so
Hmm.
she's all that shit out the way, and then next year she'll end up probably going to like a 5 clutch, and she'll be
Yeah.
done. No, that's what happened. With my intermediates, my first year gave me like 8 clutches,
Yeah.
and then the year after that it was 5. Then the year after that was 5. So I think they just have to get that first year out the way or something. But I'm about to
Hmm.
move the male out so he can leave her the fuck alone. Like
Yeah.
I got a little 12 by 12 by 12 for his ass. Like, because as soon as she drops eggs, he's all on her. I'm like, dude, you gotta
Yeah.
give her a break. No, I gotta go. Gotta let her put some weight on and let her get a waxworm or some shit, man.
For
Uh,
real.
but yeah, so like theirs is every 21 days. Um, no, Chihuahuas, they're 60 days.
Hmm.
My Cerdodactylus, Zebricus, I think it's like 60 days. My Nebula, god damn, Cerdodactylus, my Clouded Indian geckos,
Yeah.
only given me 1 clutch, and it's been way over 60 days. So I don't know what's going on with them. But
Yeah.
she's still kicking, she's still eating, like she's still aggressive. So it's like, all right, well, I don't know what's going on. I've always heard like like some species of Cerdodactylus can have lazy males if you keep them in there like cohabitating. They don't want to do
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like, all right, cool, whatever. Like if you only give me 1 clutch, you only give me 1 clutch. I don't care.
For
Um,
sure.
and
Those
then
things are
like
cool though.
yeah, yeah. And speaking of that, dude, I forgot to even tell you. So the pair that you gave me,
Yeah.
that male, I don't know, he got stressed out. So I ended up separating the male and the female. And
Hmm.
like he was eating, but he just wasn't thriving. Like he ended up just going. But I was like, all
Yeah.
right. And like I said, it's probably just stress from transportation and whatever. And I was like,
Man, I'm
damn,
so
because he was,
sorry to hear that, man.
I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, the female though, oh, she thick. Like, so,
I hope she got some eggs for you.
I don't know if she's gonna drop egg, but she eats. She
Yeah.
eats. Every time I drop crickets, boom, she's on them. Like I say, even when I drop crickets for the male, boom, he was on them. But
Yeah.
he just wasn't gaining the weight.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, he was just stressed. I think it was just some stress that he had going on. I was like, shit happens.
Yeah,
But
that's the one thing with reptiles.
yeah, and you can't really tell until it's damn near the end. So
Yeah, for sure.
but I planned on probably next year after like the winter, moving
Hmm.
that female into that with my 1.1 and see if that
Yeah.
kind of helps my male. Like, oh shit, now I got options. So it was happening. You
Yeah,
know,
I hope it works out, man.
I said I got 1 clutch from them, so I don't even know if they're viable, but they're incubating right now.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know about these damn Blazodactylus. Like I said, I found 6 eggs in there. I was like, when did you even lay these things? So
Those
you
things are
know,
cool too.
yeah.
Uh,
So
a buddy of mine had those things, which are pretty cool.
what's that?
A buddy of mine kept those Blazodactylus things.
Yeah. Well, I got these ones from
Yeah, Nate's like 10 minutes down the road from me.
yeah, that's who I got them from.
Yeah,
Uh no,
yeah.
like
I
just
think
like
that
we
was
did.
Nate.
Yeah, just like we did with the Chihuahua trays. I traded him a few Chihuahuas and I got those.
Yeah.
That's what I use Chahoo's for, man. Trade. Like, because I can't really, I don't like to, well, I post things for sale, but I don't want to post things for astronomical money, right? Like,
Yeah,
sorry, like, I want people to have these reptiles, and most people are like, man, I can't afford $600-700. I was like, well, I usually just post my shoes for like $300. Home, take them,
yeah,
or I just use them for trades, because I mean, that's the best part of this hobby is just doing trades with folks.
for sure,
You know, if you're interested in this, I'm interested in what you got. Let's do something. Let's make it work. Let's make that happen.
for sure.
Yeah. So when you get these eggs, like how are you setting them up, like incubation wise? Like what kind of material you use, and then do you incubate them in a controlled temperature, or you just like put them on your baker's rack and like set and forget?
Nah, so I have an incubator that now, before I was able to turn it off during the winter time, but now it
Mm-hmm.
just runs all year now. But so it's a good and a bad thing. But I have my incubator set at like 28 degrees Celsius, and I put those eggs in the incubator. I usually do. I get these, but now I have this one as an egg box. But these are just like Dollar Tree tub,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I keep them fully sealed. I had 4 flies at one point, and they'll lay in anything, and I hate that. So I
yeah.
keep it one completely sealed. I do perlite 1 and 1, and I just throw the eggs right in there.
What's 28 Celsius? What's that in Fahrenheit?
20, I think that's like 80. I'm pretty sure it's like around in the 80s, like 81, 82
Let's see.
degrees Fahrenheit.
28 Celsius. Yeah, it's like 82.4.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
82.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's where I got all my stuff at right now. I got what kind of incubator you use?
Right now, I'm using one of the Zoomed, what is the Zoomed Reptibator, but I've also like made my own, which is
Yeah,
pretty easy.
yeah. I'm using that what is it, the Exoterra Pro one, the ones that look like the
Yeah.
hub baiters.
Hmm.
That thing's been kicking for like 3 years now. So I mean, it
Yeah.
hasn't done any craziness to me. So I was like, all right, cool, we good. But yeah, I got that thing set at 82, and like the humidity set like around almost like 85%. So
Hmm.
it sprays like you put water on the bottom, it has like a little spout, and so when it
Yeah.
drops or spraying, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so like I got my Stropharis in there, I got Chahuas in there, Blaze of Backless, Hamophilus, and they're all in there.
Yeah. I have some Strophorus eggs cooking and some Calotes eggs. I have a couple tacky eggs in there right now.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah. So
I love those tackies. Those fucking
yeah,
tackies are cool. Shit.
they my Smardina, she's been dropping. I have a trio, and then I also have a 1.1. Now they're dropping eggs every week. Well, every
Damn.
2 weeks I'm getting eggs, but it's in between. So every
God,
week I'm grabbing eggs from one group.
that sounds like a nose right there. For
Oh
real.
yeah, they'll keep going.
So or so how long do they take to incubate?
So because I have it at 82 so far, and I was actually just like reading my notes because I'll have it on the female's cage. I keep it separate. I'll have all her days where she dropped them, and then like the hatch days. So between 75 and 79 days they'll hatch out.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's a pretty. I mean, so and then when they hatch out, they're pretty decent size, though, right?
yeah, they're about like an inch and a half.
Okay.
The first clutch, I did have like 2 casualties, but they just didn't look good out the egg.
Yeah.
And then after that, after the first clutch, everything else was perfectly fine.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So before we get to the hatchlings, generally, how long or how old do you or how long do you wait before you actually pair your Calotes up?
So people, I've read it actually in a book. And it was saying that they could reach maturity in like 10 months.
Hmm.
I've waited till a year and a half just to be
Okay.
safe because they get pretty big and they'll spit eggs out pretty early. But I
Yeah.
do wait till a year and a half to pair
Okay.
both the male and female up.
Okay. So do you does you wait for your females to drop duds? Because I know there's always that. Like some people say, I wait for drop duds, and there's other folks that's like, I just pair them once they hit that age.
Yeah, I just paired them at a year and a half
Yeah.
just because I've seen that they could uh
I
be
mean, they could bounce
mature.
back. Yeah,
And
yeah, they
yeah,
could
they could
bounce
be
back
mature
from that
in
age.
10 months. So I'm
Yeah,
like, all right, I could pair up in a year and a half. And you could start seeing like ovulations early because they're
Yeah,
a slender lizard, and you can start seeing them a
like a
little bit
bowl.
puffy. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm like the male doesn't get that big. I've been feeding you guys the same amount, so then I'm like, all right, I think it's time.
yeah, she's developing. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, because like I said, in the gecko, like at least in the gecko world, you hear like
Yeah,
drop duds. Like you don't hear wait to drop duds in like the python and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's always weird to hear that.
yeah. I feel like and a lot of lizards sometimes they won't drop duds though.
Yeah,
Like
unless
if you
like
don't pet them,
yeah, or if you don't even have at least like a male that's in close proximity, they won't even
yeah,
drop duds. Like I have like a male and female kind of like in like right next to each other, like in my
mm,
condo, and seeing like if she will. She hasn't, no. And but I know she's getting ready. Like, well, she's mature now because she went from this nice, sweet old Chihuahua to a bitch.
yeah. I have
Like,
a year and a half to. She dropped duds, but that doesn't mean she's ready yet. You know,
yeah,
or
yeah,
I don't think she's ready, so I'm not gonna pair her up yet.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I had a like my second pair of Chihuahuas I ever had. Like
Yeah.
the female, she dropped duds at 9 months, 13 months, like 16 months.
Hmm.
And yeah, so by the time she hit like her 2.5 year mark, I was like, okay, you're good to go. Like,
For sure.
yeah, she just kept dropping them, dropping them, and dropping them. I'm like, all right, cool. And she was never paired. Like she was
Yeah.
in her own bin, and then yeah, and then as soon as I put her in with the male, I've I've got like almost 100% success rate with her. With like compared to my other ones that I had before. Like
Hmm.
it was like 50-50 like the first year, and then it went up to like 60% the next year. But this pair, she gave me like it was damn near 100%. So, you know, no, I think each like it has to be different with each reptile or each species. I don't think every species has the same stuff when it comes to
Yeah.
like dropping duds and all this stuff. It's species dependent, and it's individual dependent as well.
For sure.
Yeah. So for the babies, how are you keeping these babies?
So far, I've been keeping babies uh in 18, 18, 18s, just 18 cubes.
Yeah.
I have the Zoomed brand, T5, 6% light Arcadia. I've been using instead of like larger heat domes, I've been liking the Zilla, the mini halogens, just because they
Okay.
get as hot and it gives them a smaller hot spot.
Okay. I bet.
So I've
Yeah.
been using those for a good amount of species. And that's been working perfectly fine, but giving them a hot spot around 90 as well.
Yeah.
Cork panels. I took this from Justin. I put cork panels on all the sides,
Yeah.
and so they just gives them more space to run all around. And then I just use like thin branches and cork bark as well.
Okay. So do you put them all? Because I mean, saying you getting like 40 eggs. I doubt you're
Yeah.
doing 40 18 18
No,
18s.
no, no, no. I'm doing the whole clutch in there, uh,
Okay.
and then I'm splitting them out. So around like 3, 4 months, I can start selling them.
Yeah.
And then usually and then I start splitting them out in different cages. Like
Yeah.
if I have a couple 12, 12, 18 like regularly planted, I'll throw 3 or 4 of them in there just sprawling out. So I'll start splitting them out after that, after
Yeah.
4 months, so I can start selling. Especially after that, I don't want them to start like biting each other's tails. I haven't had that problem, but they are
Yeah.
little raptors when you start throwing crickets in there.
Yeah. What's the growth rate on them?
So they do move pretty slow when you like start first with like fruit flies, but I feel like that's
Hmm.
like any fruit fly. Either they don't grow as quick, but when they
Yeah.
start eating crickets, they'll hit a growth spurt pretty quick.
Yeah. So is there any other challenges, raising babies besides,
Um,
making sure you have enough enclosures to once they get big enough?
I haven't had any problems with the babies at all, honestly. I feel like if you keep them hydrated, I keep a water bowl in all of them. I think
Yeah.
the hardest part really, and I've been seeing in just Calotes in general, is just like getting them to drop eggs. But I've just been using the heated nest box and just getting
Yeah.
them hot. And that's when they've been wanting to drop their eggs.
Okay. That's what's up. Let's let's see. Have you noticed so with these like you said, you got yours were F1s, right? So
Hmm.
where's there Any let's see, any like any indications of like being stressed out or like not even unhealthy because you still have them.
Yeah.
Notice any kind of stress triggers that you saw and you're like, all right, let me stop trying to do this and change this up.
Well, I can't when I put my hand in there usually like they'll flip out, males are doing backflips, the females are flying all over the cage. So I
Yeah,
realized like, all right, I'm just not gonna bother them. I'll give them their food. They like being fed. They don't want me to hold them, so I won't
yeah,
hold them. That's I just don't mess with them like that. The
yeah,
babies I'll handle a little bit because people wanted to be able to hold a lizard like that, which is pretty cool. And I
yeah,
want to have a lizard in my room that big and has a red face that I can hold. But these guys, I just don't mess with them like that.
yeah. And you think it's just me because they're F?
Yeah, for sure. Like how wiry they are compared to my holdbacks is
Yeah,
freaking insane.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you work with a lot with your babies and making sure they're handleable. So
I mean, honestly, I don't work with them a lot. Like
okay,
I'll try to hold them once a week,
yeah.
but
Well, just to
like
get
it's
that
not
that
enough.
human interaction, so
Yeah,
they can be adjusted. So when they actually go to their new home, no, that owner can continue doing that and so they're not getting changed up and everything like that.
yeah, for sure. Like when I go and spray now, like I have a female, she'll just climb right up my arm. So I'm like, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm trying to speed through it, and then
Hmm.
she'll just climb up my arm. So I'm like, you know what, either you got, and then they get in my hair, which is kind of annoying, but.
Well, I mean, they like, all right, these are moving branches. We good. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
so they'll just climb right up my head. But yeah, they're night and day compared to their parents.
Okay. How often do you feed the babies? Are you feeding them like the same as the parents, or are you giving them more
I'm
throughout the
giving
week?
them an extra day, so they're gonna get fed on like almost 5 times a week for sure. Yeah, so they do grow pretty quick.
Yeah. Now, is that how long of a period do you do that? Is it like for the first month, or are you doing it until you start moving them?
Well, no, well, I mean, I've been just pounding them with food for real, just because till honestly till they get like about like 9 to 10 months, then I'll start slowing down their food. So like
Okay.
my holdbacks and a couple of the ones that didn't sell, they started getting a little bit because they got bigger.
Yeah.
But all the way till then, they're getting fed 5 times a
Okay.
week, 4 to 5 times a week.
Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, how many pairs you got right now? Like
Right now, I have
unrelated.
two.
You got two
So I have
unrelated pairs?
two. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. Now just talking so thinking about like bloodlines and stuff like that. So
hmm So
how
yes, and then I have a holdback, basically a pair. So now I have three.
okay.
So I have a male from group one, a female from group two, and then those guys hopefully will go next year.
Okay. That's what's up. Yeah. So how accessible are these reptiles?
Now I've been seeing them way more accessible on Morph Market.
Hmm.
I've been wanting these lizards probably for like 4 or 5 years. When I first got back into the hobby, I saw them. I had
Yeah.
this book, I think it's like a Godmid Lizard. I forgot when that thing was published, but it was like, I think it was like 1992 or something like that, 1996. And it's just a big old green lizard with a red head. And it was
Yeah.
saying like it can only live in captivity for like 2 years. And I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah. For that big of a lizard, I think it probably yeah, definitely longer than that.
No, for sure. But that was like when everything was wild caught.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
But
like now, I mean, is there any updated literature on that?
I think in the strictly ectothermic, I think that
Yeah.
I
I
think
seen
they have a care guide.
yeah, I seen the website with the carrot guide on that one.
Yeah, I think that's really about it for like care guides for Calotes or
Okay.
any Calotes for real.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Cause I keep on talking to Justin and I'm like, dude, I want those Pethodigodes.
Yep,
Man, it's just so hard to come up with that price or come up with
yeah,
that change for that one. Like they're beautiful, like
they are.
ridiculously beautiful animals, and like I like the whole Calotes genus.
Yeah,
They're like Calotes and Cofotes. Like, and I always sometimes I have a bad habit of interchanging those, like because I always
hmm
put like Dunbar into that group when I know they're not part of that group. But
I
you
think they
know,
used to be in that group though.
oh yeah, I mean it would make
I think it
sense.
should be Calotes the bar.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense, right? I mean, they
Yeah,
come from that same geographical area, so it would be. But like I said, taxon those taxonomic guys need a job,
Yeah,
so they got to do
for
some shit.
sure.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because Jack, he sent me I think Calotes Mestacious the other day,
Oh
um,
yeah.
on Instagram. Yeah, there's a couple of species of Calotes, and I was like, oh, those are cool. He was like, you should start working with some other species, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I was thinking about getting those Calotes versicola, or that's how they call them.
Versicolor,
Yeah, versicola.
yeah,
Yeah. I was thinking about
that's
them, like
something
they're
cool.
like $20 joints. I was like,
Yeah,
man, but they're always wild caught. So it's like, yeah, I gotta figure that shit out. I gotta get me a nice quarantine area away from all my other stuff before I even think about
yeah.
doing that. So do you deal with wild caught stuff?
I did. The other room at first was just like I had a little bit of imports, and then I'll just keep them for a little bit, and then they'll come into the room after quarantine. I
Yeah,
haven't gotten any other wild caught stuff in that room. Just became more crested geckos in the other room. But I have been thinking about like, yeah, I kind of want to get some other stuff. Like if I get some other calotes and other species, I do want to have them in quarantine before they come into this room.
yeah,
So I've been just thinking about just that way, like what else can I get in and stuff.
yeah, definitely. So what's
But I have been one of those Pathia Godai.
yeah, man, dude. Every time I see them, I'm like, God damn, I need to
Yeah.
get a new credit card or something. Put myself in more debt, man. So what's your quarantine protocols?
So when I did have it, like my Emerald Tree Skinks, those things wild caught are totally like not the same.
Oh
And
yeah,
I did not have a good time with those things. But they were in
no,
quarantine for 90 days.
yeah,
And then the guy I got them from, he had them for a couple of, I think he had it for at least a month before I got those in.
oh yeah. And
Yeah,
what
but
was
I
it? So
usually,
they were just crazy and like just
yeah,
spastic.
like as soon as I walk into the room, you hear them hitting the back of the cage. Um, like, and that wasn't fun at all. I was like, damn, like I wanted them because, oh, they can climb up your arm. But I'm like, oh, they're wild caught. Maybe they'll cool off for some time. And he just
Yeah,
never did.
yeah. I always heard that too. Like, yeah, they're so friendly. They'll climb up on you and then climb down and hop back into the thing, hop back into
Yeah,
their enclosure. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. No, but I mean, I guess it's probably just the captive bred ones versus the wild caughts. So
yeah.
it is what it is. Uh, let me see. Let me ask you this: Why do you think they would make? Why do you think these Calotes would make good pets?
I mean, for anybody that wants like a super beautiful lizard. I mean, if you wanted an iguana when you were younger or anything like that, you could get a Calotes Calotes, a smaller animal. You could keep it in a manageable cage, like a 36, 1836 is a huge cage. And you don't have to have it, but you can't keep an iguana in that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you keep a pair of Calotes in there. And I mean, especially when you get them hand tamed, who doesn't want a hand feeding a freaking dragon?
Right, yeah. Especially like you said, yeah, it got some nice bright red head, the spikes going down, it got
They
that
have
prehistoric
stripes
look. Yeah. And that's one of those things that has me going towards those Calotes is that prehistoric look that they have,
for
right?
sure.
They kind of look like that, almost like a raptor, not raptor like, but just more dinosaur like than a lot of our stuff that we commonly keep in the hobby.
Yeah, like a crested gecko or a leopard gecko. Like that thing
Yeah.
is sick.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's no, and I've always gravitated towards the reason why I got into reptiles was I love the predatory instincts, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't. You don't get to see that stuff with dogs and stuff like that because people look at you kind of weird, like why are you doing that? So I get to feed live bugs to these things, and you get to see them use those instincts to go ahead and hunt. You can't do that
Mm,
with your common dog unless like you live out in the boons and you're actually hunting for yourself, but you use your dog to go ahead and grab your stuff or whatever. So
hmm
that's why I gravitated towards all these reptiles because like I said, I love to see them hunt. I like to see them kind of start thinking on how they're gonna pounce on this cricket or this worm or this roach.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you know what should like prospective owners consider before actually deciding trying to get one of these Calotes?
Honestly, I don't have any takeaways from it. I mean, the only thing is if you get F1s or anything that's spastic, that sucks. that you can't interact with them at all.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes I'm like, man, I have to go in the Calotes cage, and then they'll want to fly all around. I'm like, man, that does suck. But like, other than that, they're great. I mean, you just have to feed them insects. People like they keep crested geckos and stuff. I feel like you should feed your new cows insects, but that's another conversation. But some
Dude,
people
I
don't
tell
want
people
to
that
feed
shit all the
insects.
time. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
had a conversation with somebody about that. That I sold a Chihuahua to.
Mm,
Because no, she is like, I asked her, I was like, how often, like, what are you feeding it right now? Because first the conversation got into like, how much is it weighing? She's like, oh,
mm,
I haven't weighed it in a while, you know. And then she started talking about, yeah, I give it a crescent gecko diet like 3 times a week because that's what this breeder said because they deal with crescent geckos. I was like, well, Chihuahuas
yeah.
are natural hunters. They want to hunt. I was like,
Mm,
so you need to kind of flip that. They need bug. I get mine bugs 3 times a week, and I probably only give them crescent gecko diet like twice a month. You know, almost as a treat, right?
yeah.
No, except with the exception of like the babies. The babies they get bugs 3 times a week, and I give them diet once a week, just so I
Mm,
know that because I want to make sure before I even move a gecko, move it like a chihuahua, I want to make sure they're eating their bugs first before anything, because the
yeah.
diet is always going to be there. No, that's just just in case you didn't catch that cricket, you could at least go over here to get that, or that cricket could eat that diet, and you can still get a gut loaded cricket while it's still in there. So
Mm,
yeah, so like even when I had Cresties, I put them on that Chihuahua diet, and when that happened, yo, they were trying to smash like toques for real. Like you hear them do boom, just smack them. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like how can you not want how can you not tell that they want that when they going
yeah.
that hard on hitting the cricket? Like they want those bugs. It's like and then I'm like, you don't want a crested gecko with rolls on its side. Sorry, like you don't want
Yeah.
that. Like, it's unhealthy for them. They're supposed to be
It doesn't
lean.
look good.
Yeah, they need to be lean. They lean like they're not the most athletic gecko, but if they're lean enough, they're not going to do all that dumb shit.
Yeah, I
So
mean, yeah, I don't think there's a 70-gram crusty just lumping around in New Cali.
no, no, no. And like I said, and I always tell them I was like when they say, "Oh, the crescent gecko dies like that fruit stuff," it's like, yeah, but fruit is seasonal, so they're
Mm,
not always eating fruit in New Cal. It's not always going to be have fruit on the bottom of that ground all rotted and everything. That stuff's
yeah.
seasonal. It has to grow. It has to take time. So and even when that fruit drops to the ground, guess what? There's bugs by that thing. What do you think they're doing? They're probably going after bugs and getting a little bit of that fruit with it. That's all that's
Yeah.
probably happening. So we kind of, I feel like we kind of took it overboard.
Mm,
Instead of like giving it a balanced diet, we're giving it overboard on all this sugar and all this stuff. I
yeah.
mean, we probably have like diabetic geckos in here. You know what I'm saying? So and that's just that's me on my little soapbox with that shit. Like I
Yeah. No, I
I
feel it.
can't stand when folks were like, yeah, that's all I do is give them crescent. I'm like, why? Like you're
Yeah.
depriving them of their natural instincts to hunt, you know, and being like healthy and moving and like they don't have to move to like they don't have to use a lot of energy to go over to that little bowl of diet. No, they're
Yeah.
using very little energy for that.
For
So they're
sure.
storing a lot more fat than they would if they're hunting bugs. So for let's see here, like, do you have any kind of tips for like like trying to handle them? Is it like usually just using like tongs or something to kind of guide them to your arm or whatever?
Yeah. At first, I definitely tricked them, you could say. So
Yeah,
yeah, I was using like baby hornworms. For a little bit, I grew some silkworms. I got them from eggs
yeah,
and I just hatched them out, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I just tongue fed him, got him to take my hand, get on my hand, and oh, his hand is, that means I'm gonna get food. And
yeah,
after that, after a while, I'll start just scooping them. I wouldn't just go in there and just grab them.
yeah,
At first, I probably would try to tame them down by tongue feeding them at first,
yeah,
and then start holding them from there.
yeah. You ever got bit by any of them?
My grab a female, yeah, when she hopped out the cage, I just like tried to grab her from the side, and she just went back and bit me. But honestly, it didn't draw any blood or anything. It was like a quick bite,
Okay.
and that was it.
It's like I said, that female Chihuahua that's gonna be next year, going
Mm,
getting paired up next year. She's the only one that's drawn blood for me. She got me right on my knuckle too.
Yeah, I had a crested gecko that left me a freaking scar on my wrist.
Tell you, they're savages. They want the meat, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was like, she was hopping out the cage because I was feeding and she decided to hop out. So I was like, God damn it! I know you're gonna bite me too. I know you're gonna bite me. Picked her up right on my knuckle. I was like, oh, come on
Yeah,
now.
she got a good spot.
Yeah, that thing was bleeding for like a hot minute. I was like, oh, you're the first one to ever draw blood. I had a tokay that never drew blood. No, it was crazy.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, she didn't bite me hard. I wouldn't doubt that she would make me bleed though.
Yeah, because I'm sure they got some sharp teeth though.
Yeah.
Nothing, but all right, man. So we coming up on the end of this. Let me ask you. Damn, what I was about to ask. Well, before that, where can everybody find you at, man?
So I'm on Instagram at AS Reptile Corner.
Hmm.
I'm also on Palm Street. I try to do one once a week, but I've been taking
Yeah.
some weeks off.
How's Palm Street been treating you?
It's not bad. I mean, it's good. I've I have some like pros and cons about it. So like sometimes I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, but I do enjoy it. It definitely like I'm like, oh, it's a reptile show, but you could stay home and
yeah,
I don't have to pack for Friday and be at a show for double weekends. Like
yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, I could just do a show for 2, 3 hours. I could hang out with my people and talk, and then I could just lay in my bed after that. That seemed like a plus.
Yeah. No, I'm starting to notice a lot of when I go and look at folks' palm streets,
Mm,
it's almost to that point now where it's like, people are like, "What do y'all want to see?" Like,
yeah.
because I saw this one man, I saw this one dude lose his shit on there because, I mean, is you know, as a seller, what like sells and what doesn't sell, and then you're gonna lose your shit because you did a dollar start and it only sold for $10, right?
Yeah.
So that's on you. If
Yeah,
you
no, I
know it's
don't do
worth more
those.
than that, so you gotta go ahead and adjust. But I saw him lose his shit over a gecko that sold for $10, and it was like I forgot what it was. I know it was a crescent gecko, but I just don't remember what
Yeah.
it was. But he was losing his shit on it. I was like, dude,
Yeah, no,
it is
I don't
what
do
it is.
dollar starts or $10 starts. I feel like I mean, if you have the stock to do it, then hey, have
Yeah,
fun. Or if you're doing it, you gotta be okay with like selling it for basically a dollar if push comes to shove, you know?
yeah. You gotta know what your market is, and
Yeah.
figure out like, all right, what are these actually going for? Like, whenever I do it or whenever I decide to do it,
Hmm.
it's probably going to be like, all right, I'm going to post this at 50% retail
Yeah.
and, and then we'll go from there. You know, it's, it's a hard thing to kind of judge too. Cause you're like, all right, what is the retail on these things? And then that's always subject to variability.
Yeah, I feel like it just depends on the week, you know? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Is it
some
payday
days, some
weekend?
weeks it's good, some
Yeah. You
weeks
got to,
it's bad.
yeah. So that's the hard part right there, man. What was I about to say? Let me ask you. Oh, let me ask you this. With like this reptile hobby, right?
Hmm.
What's something great that you love about it, and what's something that you don't love about it?
Honestly, the one thing I do love about it is the animals and then also just like the people. Like I feel like the people that you make a cool like almost like family, like you jive well with people, like or even just like, oh, like Jason, I know you work with this, like I'll send this over to you, or you're like, oh, I'm looking for this, oh, this person has it, and or they're like, oh, Aaron, you're good with this, look at this, and just hanging out and just having good people around you, I think that just like reinvigorates you into the hobby, some days you look down and like, man, you know? And then you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
some people just like help you up. So I think the community is a good thing. I feel like sometimes like a negative also can sometimes be community. I think some people take things a little bit too serious, I'm like
oh
at the end
yeah,
of the day, the lizards, the geckos, it's not that deep. We
yeah,
shouldn't be cursing each other out sometimes. I mean, sometimes we're passionate about it, but like sometimes not that deep. Or like you don't have to reply. Like that's some things I realize. Like somebody says something, I don't have to
no,
say. You don't have to say anything at all.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you could totally ignore it.
Yeah,
That's your prerogative right there. Like, if you don't want to, no, get into this whole argument, you ain't got to. You're like, all right,
like
cool,
yeah,
no deuces.
exactly. I'm like, you're not gonna stress me out on my phone, so I'll just leave
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah, for real, man. I got better things to do than besides trying to argue with somebody I've never met.
Exactly. And sometimes like I feel like people and then like you could take things weird through text also. So I'm like, it's really not that deep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I take it. So I think
yeah,
sometimes community, some people take things to heart or they say things they maybe shouldn't say, you know?
yeah.
But I think that's like the only takeaway.
All right.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
like
what's up.
education. And so I feel like we should push out more stuff so people could have more resources. I think now it's way more resources than before, but I think we could do better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I mean, that's the whole reason I decided to start these podcasts, just to
Hmm.
get out more information about all these other reptiles that are in the hobby that most people are like, I don't know what that is. You know, they're like, if it's not a crested gecko, leopard gecko, bearded dragon, ball python, they don't know what it is, right?
Yeah, if it doesn't have like a whole bunch of care guides, then people don't really know what it is.
Yeah. Or if it doesn't have a bunch of morphs, they're like,
Yeah.
whatever. Right. So that's the whole reason why, Ant and I said, you know what, let's go ahead and do this podcast stuff because, people are like, thank you, because I didn't know what the hell, like who to talk to, who to ask, or how to take care of this reptile. So I never got one because of that. So but
Mm.
now we're putting these episodes out where folks are like, okay, bet now I think I can, or they can make that educational decision not to because they don't think they can take care of that animal properly. So
Yeah.
that's the whole reason why we decided to do this.
No,
Um,
that's dope.
yeah, but Aaron, appreciate you coming on.
No
Put
doubt.
in work podcast. Like I said,
Thank
I've
you.
I've been watching you for a hot minute. Doing all this crazy stuff, man. Like so
Thank
you
you. I
work,
appreciate it.
yeah, you work with the Flora Fauna folks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see you on their Palm Streets as well. You work in a reptile store, or
Yep.
you?
So it's a
Oh, that's
reptile store. A few things changed through. So
yeah.
right now, Cold Blooded and Bizarre they own the building, the reptile
Okay,
shop in Lake Forest, which has been pretty cool. Floor Farm is still a thing. Milk Menagerie is still a thing,
that's what's up.
and it's still fun.
Oh yeah, that's what's up, man. I wish I could have worked at reptiles, but dude, I got bills to pay. It's hard for me to like out here. They be like, oh, minimum wage. I'm like, nah, sorry, that shit ain't happening.
Yeah, nah, minimum wage here is crazy. I feel like
Yeah,
that's why. But
that's what's up, man. Dude, like I said, appreciate you coming through.
no doubt. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Stay on real quick while I exit. Have everything upload, and then we'll get through this. All right.
Sounds like a
All right,
plan.
everybody. Till next time. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whenever. Hope y'all enjoy your day. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, Jason on the mic. Welcome to the spot. Breeding those reptiles, straight fire, straight hot. Geckos in the house, snakes twist and turn. Lizards on the prowl, see the passion burn. Breeders in the game, they putting in work. Red tail bows, see them go berserk. Leopard geckos shine like scales of gold. Hobbyists unite, let them stories be told. Putting in that work every day and night. Jason got the spotlight, keeping it tight. Reptile keepers rise, making impact. Breeding them beauties, never looking back. Cages all set, heat lamps in place. Monitor lizards, putting on a chase. From the boa constrictors to the chameleons green. Building up the hobby, live the reptile dream. Corn snakes slither, python stretch. Crested geckos leap, ain't no contest. Spotlighting the keepers, doing it right. Every enclosure clean, every feeding tight. Putting in that work every day and night. Jason got the spotlight, keeping it